the focal point for elections. And once we will have the clearance for us to, as a UN and the international community, to support the upcoming electoral cycle, because it's a cycle. We have several elections, but the elections are not only one event. So there's an approach on electoral cycle where you have the interlinkages between the elections and the all democratic setup. So it's why we are having this mission that is arriving tomorrow, and we'll be meeting with the different stakeholders and political actors. Thank you.
Yes, I think we have Madam Cises.
Yes, thank you. Okay. First of all, I want to apologize to the children's representative. When he spoke here, it really touched me. And then I want to apologize to you because it's like most of us have spoken, but we spoke generally, but we didn't talk specifically about children. And I take it personally because I feel I should have done that because I'm someone who works at the police, gender and child welfare unit. So if I talk about youth, I should also include you in my statement. So that is an oversight, and I'm apologizing to the Children's National Assembly. I hope my apology is accepted. Okay. So after that, I will also want to talk about the issue of the community policing and the communication barrier that that have been pointed out here with regards to civic-police relationship. I want to assure you that the community policing unit in their future programs will engage and involve young people more, because the report that will emanate from here will be, a copy will be handed over to them so that they can also include young people in their outreach programs and also in their radio programs. With that, your security needs will be addressed in a better way. The other issue is the issue of decentralization. For the police child welfare unit, it is a decentralized unit. All major police stations in the Gambia have a staff that serve as the police child welfare officer. And these officers are specially trained to handle issues of children. So that one, the issue of decentralization here is not a major challenge for us. And also, most of the substations also, that is the police posts, most of them are equipped with child welfare officers. But for the major stations, all of them have child welfare officers. Some even have one or more, two or more. Also, the issue of police brutality, that is human rights violations committed to people by members of the police. The police has an internal disciplinary unit called the Professional Standards Unit, and that unit is well equipped with officers who are trained to handle issues of complaints emanating from members of the public regarding violations of human rights, police brutality, you name them, depending on the jargon that you may prefer on them, because as young people, we are good in giving our big jargons. So this particular unit investigates cases of human rights violations on members of the public by members of the police force. And if any officer is found wanting, depending on the gravity of the case, the least punishment one could get there is reprimand. Sometimes it could even lead to interdiction, and some are prosecuted criminally. So that is the aspect that we have there. Then the other issue of freedom of assembly and protest. As I told you earlier, for the police, we can only issue permit when we know that we can guarantee your safety during that particular gathering. But when your safety cannot be guaranteed by the police, obviously they will not provide you with permit. Because when they provide you with permit without providing you with enough officers to protect you while undertaking your activity, anything that comes out of it, that will come back to the IGP. The blame will come back to the IGP. If you are to issue permit, you must also protect those that are going to embark on that activity, the organizers of the activity, and also their members that are taking part in that activity. So the other issue is I'm appealing to the Karim, I think it's Karim Waidabo. Is it the one that? Yes, is that one? Yes. Please don't see the police as enemies. We are your servants. We are paid from the taxpayers' money. So if you want to see us as enemies, that will make the job very difficult for us. Because I think one of the reasons for inviting the police to take part in this particular youth dialogue is to break that kind of a barrier, the communication barrier that exists between members of the security and the public. So please, I'm appealing to you, don't see us as your enemies. Please, forget about the past, and if you have complaints regarding brutality or any form of human rights violation, please report it to the professional standards unit of the police. It will be investigated and your matter will be taken up seriously. But don't see us as enemies. We are your partners in development and we are your servants. We are paid from your taxes. So please.
Well done. Well done. He is a Jaranka. He should be dealt in this, even this evening. Yes.
Thank you very much. I think it was a very honest discussion. I want to thank my panelists for giving us a sincere discussion, because an interface with young people, honest discussion with young people, genuine discussion with young people, as one of the speakers rightly mentioned, one of the participants rightly mentioned, this is a real opportunity where young people interface with technical experts on different issues that they understand. And I think we'll be having such occasions. And I just want to say that not too biased, or I will not use the word biased to say, but I want to conclude by saying this is the most interesting session since the National Youth Dialogue started from Banjul to LRR. Because I have been following the town hall meetings, not because of the questions that we receive, but because of the speakers we have. 7 prolific speakers, sincere and honest discussion, where young people push speakers to the wall for them to discuss issues affecting them. We have seen the National Development Plan. Alaji Fadera reply to a lot of, answer a lot of questions, because young people want to know about the NDP, the financing, the challenges, the recommendation, the way forward. When you say pledges of $1.7 billion, honestly, a lot of people think that they got the money from the pledges in Brussels. But because these are pledges that they don't understand, and now we have commitment, we have this, disburse the funding. So I think these are all questions that people want to understand, especially young people. And we've heard from the police, we have heard from the Association of Non-Governmental Organization, from business sector, from the UNDP, from perspective from young people. So I think this is a very honest discussion, and I'm so much delighted. And I want to thank the National Youth Council for also giving me the platform to interface, dialogue with fellow young people, because I am proud of you guys as a young person, as a person that will also try to make sure that your concerns are raised so that we can all galvanize our efforts and amplify our voices as young people. So thank you very much to my speakers. Thank you for traveling all the way from Banjul to LRR for us to discuss issues affecting young people, issues affecting citizens, and I think we should keep on having such honest conversations. This is not the first, and I'm sure this will not be the last, from the National Youth Council, from UNDP and partners. So thank you very much to the organizers. Thank you so much to the speakers. And I have to hand over the mic to Lamin Dabo. I call him the father of young people. I call him the father of young people, a population of 61%. We are all leaning on his shoulders as the executive director of the National Youth Council. So thank you very much, and I think we'll have more of such discussions to actually discuss issues affecting young people, issues affecting citizens in the country. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Let's give our panelists a big round of applause. I am not hearing it. Can we give them a big round of applause? We told you in Caliphate and we told you in West Coast region, Gambia, Defadem, Diaquia. Gambia, Defadem, Diaquia. So whether you are part of it or you are not part of it, we are going. This country is going ahead. So put your hands together for our Papa Youth. We have youth past here with us, so we have to give them a big round of applause. I'm sincerely honored again that we call as young people, our parents, our uncles, our duty bearers answered, and they are here. I must tell all of you, I had some word with her, that's Aisata, and we all agreed. This is very, very difficult in some countries. I mean, to even have people like Ta, to have people like Mr. Yabo. I mean, those ones, I will not call them old. I mean, the youth pass. Getting the youth past to come forward and actually interface with us is very, very difficult in some countries. And I must express gratitude from the first day we started Task Force with us. This is the third venue. So I am sincerely honored. He is not on government payroll. An entrepreneur, every minute he told me counts. So he said we need to manage our time properly. So seeing him with us, being here on time and staying almost every weekend, and he said on Fridays he used to go to his mom's house and have his benachin, and he's having that with us. I am most grateful. Yes. And I thought it's important that I said with the rest of the team that if you go to other countries, it's contemporary. You cannot just see him. You'll have to go through security. But if you want to meet him, go to the beach early morning. You'll find him. You can all do the exercise together. So we are pleased to have such a person within our midst here. To my uncle Yabo, today he's youth pa, so he's also youth pa. So we are so grateful. He's my uncle, but anytime we meet, we are the first to fight because he challenged me first before he challenged anybody. You know, so he asks questions, we will say, no, you should not ask us those questions. But they are difficult, but we take the challenge and we always want to work with him and to ensure that we are able to have this intergenerational conversation. Special thanks to our Iron Lady, Mariama, who is our Iron Lady and the chat. She's also the chat of the high table. So Mariama, thank you so much. And Mr. Silla is an entrepreneur. He was supposed to join us last week, but due to schedule, but he promised he'll be here. So we are grateful. Time is not on our side, but it is, I would say, a moral obligation on us to thank people who have actually gone the extra mile to ensure that this event also happened as expected. So, Mr. Silla, thank you very much, and the tremendous job you are doing in giving young people the state-of-the-art skills in the 21st century. He is not just into business, but he is training a lot of young people in different skill areas. He has his own institute called Starling Consortium, doing different types of training at the moment. And I will come to Nyiman Sata. I will just thank her. I will tell her job well done. Nyiman Sata is a Kianka, so we are in LRR. So, so he has come to join the family. And I will just cross carpet and go to my own brother. I will tell him job well done. He has also come home to talk to the house. Let me say, Fadera is also from Kiang, LRR, so he's also here to join us to talk to us about what is happening with NDP. So we thank him sincerely and hope that, like I said the last time, this is an open invitation to our subsequent ones. And we hope that we will continue to educate the population about the NDP. Because to be honest, there's a lot of misconceptions. There are a lot of misconceptions. And until they are corrected, we will fly with what we know. What we don't know, you cannot hold us accountable for that. Again, I want to thank Aminata. Last time we were in West Coast, we have Mariama. We said we have the right person to speak for us on youth-sensitive policing. But here we have Aminata. We said, this is the person for the youth-sensitive policing. So this, put your hands together for her. So when I met the NSA, we were discussing, the National Security Advisor. I said, when all these crises are happening, we call crisis in this country. Who were there? Young people in uniform versus young people in mufti. We are talking to her. If she's not in uniform, who will tell you she's a police officer? Well articulate, you know, informed like any one of you. But he is in the police uniform. Must that be the reason why you must condemn her? No. So we must transcend beyond that. We must see beyond that uniform and see to it that it's our sons, daughters, our brothers and sisters who are in that uniform. And when we converse, when we discuss, when we dialogue, we'll be able to see, we'll be able to build consensus, and we'll be able to drive the change we want to see. But it cannot happen when we are all at their various extremes. It's not possible. So I want to remind you on our mantra that government cannot get peace by force. Nobody gets peace by force. But us young people cannot also have peace or justice by force. So we must all democracy is a compromise anywhere. So we hope that you will all be able to have that compromise. Can you put your hands together for UNDP? I am not hearing UNDP and the entire UN system. Give them a big round of applause. You know, even if we have this idea, if there is no resource, we cannot take it to the next level. But you know, I must say one thing, it's beyond resources. It's about the vision. It's about the commitment, the passion. I would say if there is one person who actually consult me more regularly about this program, there is no other person than our own RR. So let's put our hands together for Isa today. She is passionate, very progressive, and she wants to solve problems. She just wants to make sure if it exists, let's not manage it. Let's address it and move on. If you don't address it, it will come again. And I think that's such a pragmatic, progressive, and progressive lady, you know, providing us leadership is something we must appreciate. Ma, we thank you sincerely for all the new ideas, for all the engagements and all the support in taking this dialogue to the next level. Her vision is, under the Youth Connect program, we will definitely have a huge convening where all actors in youth will come together and continue to have this conversation. And beyond just the issue of the reforms, but even other development issues, even the projects we are talking about, how do we ensure that we are able to build bridges? And I think with her, there is a lot more that we can do. Finally, I want to thank our moderator. You did well, Sisi. We are so proud of you. Put your hands together for her. You did well, and we are very, very happy. And we hope and pray that we will also be able to get you in our subsequent programs. And you have been there, and we are very confident that we will get you. To you, the participants, put your hands together for yourself. The feedback from all the other dialogue has been the participants have been well engaged. You ask the right questions. Sometimes they are tough questions. Sometimes they are difficult questions. Sometimes we don't even want to provide answers, but they are provided at some point. So it's quite essential that we are able to thank ourselves and appreciate the effort we are putting in place to be here. I also want to thank our special person, who is, I must say, I cherish the fact that he drove all the way from Combo to come and join us. DPS at the moment, at the leadership administration, he's the only one on the ground. The rest are quite engaged. They could not, he was the only one taking all the responsibilities there. The PS and the minister were not all around. But even with a call, he said, I am attending to official matters, but I will drive myself to make sure that I come and join you at this event. And the same thing was what he did in Buyam. He drove from Combo to come and join us to ensure that he is part of this program. And that speaks volumes of, if we are able to do extra, I don't mean the usually ordinary what we all know. If you're able to do extra, we should recognize it. Because it's those small extras, it's not the 8 to 4, it's those small extras we add that actually make the difference. So DPS, we are quite grateful. We thank you sincerely for taking your time to join us on the very tight schedule, which I am quite aware. So thank you very much. To the Regional Youth Committee, to the Children National Assembly, to our persons with disability, to our facilitators, to the organizers, I thank you sincerely. I say we'll close it here because it's already late, and let's prepare for the tomorrow dialogue with the reforms. On that note, I thank you sincerely for all your time and for all your participation. Have a great travel back home.